corner for the 21 truck. Gregson still trapped down on the bottom.
Gregson in 9th. Brett Moffitt back there in 10th. It's been a very quiet night for Moffitt. Oh, contact between Friesen and Enfinger. Both save it, and Rhodes is going to take advantage.
Remember last year's winner, Ben Rhodes. First time we've seen him all the way up to the front here.
Wow.
Coach, as these laps wind down, they're not going to let off the gas. Looked like exactly the case there where Friesen was pushing hard on the back of the 98 of Enfinger, and they got together.
How about Ben Rhodes going to the front, trying to secure that lead? Hermie.
Vince, do we remember where Ben Rhodes started this race? Shotgun on the field all the way in the back. He's made his way to the front. His truck's been really well balanced. He did take 2 tires on that last pit stop, so he's got 2 more than the 98 in a fast truck and a lot to race for right now.
Are you surprised that when Enfinger took no tires, just fuel only on that last stop, that he's been able to hold on as well as he has at the front here?
That truck, Vince, just looks like it handles so well through the center of the corner. Looks like he almost picks up speed as he goes through the middle. Gets a push there from John Hunter Nemechek. Not really surprised now. I just don't know how long those tires will hang in there as good as the guys that he's racing against. Those tires will start to wear, and that'll be a disadvantage as laps wind down.
Now this racing looks just like it did in the spring when we saw this huge pack racing together.
So Rhodes now takes the point from Enfinger, and Johnny Sauter comes along with Ben Rhodes into the 2nd spot.
And Vince, if Enfinger ever loses that track position, gets back 6th, 7th position, then it'll really be a detriment.
John Hunter Nemechek trying to get around Enfinger for 3rd. Got to go to break, but you're not going to miss anything on track, side by side. Going to keep on trucking from Vegas.
In the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series playoffs, we know what it takes to win the championship. This. This. And a whole lot of
That's what I'm talking about! Yes!
Because to be champion,
Sauter and Moffitt side by side.
you've got to lay it all on the line.
Hey! Chuck Norris? Can you sound my Tacoma?
I'll be glad to.
From the fist of a legend rises a new action star. A hero who's there to save the day and the night. So fearless, so rugged, he's tough as Chuck.
You replaced me with a truck?
Toyota, let's go places.
As people who love the outdoors, we know what we stand for. We stand for fish, wildlife, and conserving the places they call home. We stand for the traditions we inherited and that we must pass on. We stand for great gear, fair prices, expert service, and memorable experiences. At Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, we stand together for you.
1 piece of KFC all-white meat chicken. 2 pieces of KFC all-white meat chicken. Holy smokes! This is the most white meat ever assembled in a $5 fill-up. Get this deal before it flies the coop. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
In the NASCAR playoffs, the energy transforms everything.
The pack is flying apart!
An infield becomes the place to be. A spectator becomes a fan. An experience becomes unforgettable.
You lit the track on fire.
And a driver becomes a champion.
Quite the party in victory lane!
Be there as these drivers lay it all on the line.
Wow. Threading the needle.
Get your tickets to the NASCAR playoffs by visiting NASCAR.com/tickets.
You saw it during the break as we were side by side, the incident involving the 52 of Stuart Friesen, who was running 6th. John Hunter Nemechek collected in that spin as well, and here comes Grant Enfinger. Caitlin is there.
Yeah, Vince, you see the 98 coming down a pit road. A little bit of damage there on the right side, just grazing it. listening in to Jeff Hensley, the crew chief, he said, we're just going to put 4 tires on it, make sure everything has clearance, no other adjustments for the 98.
Boy, really slow in the right front. I made a change.
Looked like they might have been beating that fender out of it. He had a big hammer in there, but this doesn't really matter, Vince, because this team's going to start at the back. Not that big of a rush. Want to make sure the fenders are clearance okay. Get those 4 tires. And this basically is the best case scenario for Jeff Hensley with that call he made. He wanted to run some laps and then come in and get those fresher tires. We saw Grant really hang in there well with those older tires and wonder how he's going to be able to fight through all this traffic to get back up front.
Well, and really, I think dodged a bullet too. You saw, as Caitlin mentioned, that little bit of damage on the right rear, so he obviously had gotten into the wall.
He got in the wall trying to avoid the spinning Stuart Friesen.
What about that job? You can see how tough it is for Jeff Hensley to make those calls. He knew he took a chance. He thinks maybe this is a perfect scenario for him to be able to have the fresher tires.
It's like Friesen just got loose there.
He sure did. Underneath the 88, see the 98, that's when he got into the outside wall.
What a great job by Grant Enfinger squeezing through that small hole. Watch this driving by the 98 on the outside.
Got into the 88 of Crafton just a little bit there on the left rear.
Can't even see where he's going. Squeezes in that hole. Man.
Well, I tell you, for Stuart Friesen, that could have been disaster considering his position in the playoffs. He was able to gather that up fairly well, all things considered.
Look at that mess up ahead that Cody Coughlin's looking. How do you decide which way to go? Does a nice job of getting it woed down and missing those 2.
And a lot of help from his spotter, Terry Cook, too.
Friesen made a mistake on the bottom there. We talked about how these guys are going to be pushing harder and harder as we go toward the checkered. Got down on the bottom and got loose. Clipped Crafton. Crafton's really fortunate to get away, as was Grant Enfinger. See what kind of damage and what kind of speed. You can see some tire smoke there on the 52 truck. Can he still contend?
The good news is right now he's still on the lead lap, as is Grant Enfinger.
So Enfinger just inside the top 20. Friesen back around the 25th spot. But how about that top 6? All playoff contenders, led by Johnny Sauter and Ben Rhodes on that front row, with Haley and Crafton in row 2. Gregson and Moffitt will be in the 3rd row for the restart.
How about Moffitt? Only 1 stage point today. Finished 12th in the first stage, 10th in the second stage. Now he's in 6th.
Welcome to the party, Brett Moffitt. Let's see what we can do here as the laps wind down.
He's a closer, you know.
He is that.
Well, it's been a challenge for that team. As crew chief Scott Zipadelli told me yesterday after practice, he said, I got some work to do tonight, trying to figure out how to make this truck better. It's been a very quiet evening for this group. Didn't qualify that well, and the racing hasn't really been much of a factor. We'll see if he can become one here in the final 30-plus laps.
Nice even restart there. Ben Rhodes on the bottom does a nice job of launching with Matt Crafton and Johnny Sauter locked together on the outside.
How about Matt's going to make it 3 wide on the outside?
3 wide in the front row, 3 wide in row 2.
Johnny Sauter stuck in the middle once again.
This looks like 4 wide.
Brandon Jones gave it a look to make it 4 wide, decided to back out, and now it's Sauter and Crafton fighting for the lead.
I talked to Junior Joyner this morning. I said, do you think you're in a must-win situation? He said, without a doubt, we're here to win this race.
It's been a long time since Crafton's been to victory lane, back last year at Eldora. Moffitt and Gregson both with a little wiggle. Somehow they both gather it up.
Matt Crafton with the momentum on the outside. He's going to clear the 21 truck of Johnny Sauter.
Again, it was Ben Rhodes giving his teammate a little bit of a nudge.
And he grabs 2nd spot from Johnny Sauter.
Matt Crafton to the front. Battle for 3rd is between Moffitt and Brett Jones, or for 4th rather.
Brandon Jones on the bottom in that black truck.
Sauter inside of Ben Rhodes for 2nd.
Guys, this is one of the few 1.5 miles that Matt Crafton has not gone to victory lane on. He's been the last pass for the win 3 times here at this racetrack.
And And look at this battle for second. We've seen the 21 truck of Sauter get stronger and stronger as the run goes along, really able to stick that bottom and complete passes, but he's got his hands full right now with Ben Rhodes. Oh, contact on the back, Brett Moffitt.
Again, it's Moffitt and Gregson again with contact.
I believe the 51 of Brandon Jones made contact initially with Brett Moffitt, and that put Brett Moffitt into Noah Gregson, and he has a tire rub.
Look at this 98 truck. Brett Moffitt to the bottom, 3 wide.
Remember Infinger came in and got those 4 tires. There's the battle at the front for the lead. Sauter side drafting Crafton. Can he make it stick?
What a great run off of turn 2 for Johnny Sauter.
Sauter got his first career win here at Las Vegas. Trying to get win number 6 of the season tonight, and there's a problem for the 18 of Gregson after that contact. He does indeed have the tire rub that you guys mentioned.
Huge tire rub on the left front. You can see it right there. All the letters are gone off the sidewall of that tire.
A lot of smoke. I know Rudy Fugue on that team are really concerned right now. Do they come to pit road, put another left front tire on it? The smoke has gone away. There goes the tire. It blows out.
Gregson able to get it down onto pit road. But under green, it's going to be costly. 25 to go.
Just a victim of circumstances. A couple guys racing hard.
Yeah, they were 4 wide on the back straightaway, and man, I'm surprised they made it as long as they did.
Stage 1 winners led more than 30 laps. Hermes there with Gregson.
Another tough break at the end of a race in the playoffs for the 18 of Noah Gregson. You can see the damage. They've got to pull the fender off the left front tire. It's left sides only. They are already on the truck. We're trying to clear out some of the fenders. He's down and away.
Looked like there was some miscommunication there. He tried to stop. This is not what a playoff contender needs to have happen. I don't think he cleared the orange box getting onto pit road. The tire blew out so late. Let's see if when he comes in.
Oh yeah, has to have all 4 of them underneath that orange box, so that's going to be a commitment line violation for the 18, a penalty.
And yeah, it's going to bring him back in for a pass through.
And that's no fault of Gregson's. I mean, he was just trying to gather that truck up at that point.
What about Jeff Hensley's pit call? I bet he's breathing a little bit easier now, huh? We saw how stressed he was up on that pit box.
Oh, and now it's Stuart Friesen doing a little yard work.
Be careful. Don't let that splitter dig in.
So Friesen, as the caution comes out, Friesen, of course, had that contact after losing control of the truck and had some contact with John Hunter Nemechek that did some left side damage and now has brought out the caution again.
Going to have another restart. Johnny Sauter's been a little bit vulnerable on the restarts.
And what about Grant Infinger with those fresher tires?
Friesen just lost it again. He's running back there just inside the top 20.
Yeah, a lot of damage to that truck, though. It's certainly affected the aerodynamics, Vince.
And really, Friesen, I mean, he's gone around a couple of times, but it could have been worse both times. You see damage there on the left rear.
Yeah, the left rear tire's flat. You wonder if maybe the fender had rubbed that tire and that was the reason why he lost control. Get to pit road and see what was rubbing, put a tire on it, and live to fight another lap or two.
Gonna go to break. Don't worry, you're not going to miss a thing. Going to keep on trucking at Las Vegas. When we go green, there will be less than 20 to go.
It's playoff time in Texas, when NASCAR giants battle in the Citadel of Speed. Martin Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch. The greatest of them all will soon gather before us to face the ultimate test. the AAA Texas 500. They race at Texas Motor Speedway, Sunday, November 4. 2 tickets and a scanner for as low as $99 at texasmotorspeedway.com.
We the people, defined by the moments we share with our families and our friends, doing the things we love. We the people are always stronger when we're together. The 2018 Ford Expedition, the J.D. Power highest ranked large SUV in initial quality.
1 piece of KFC all white meat chicken. 2 pieces of KFC all white meat chicken. Holy smokes! This is the most white meat ever assembled in a $5 fill-up. Get this deal before it flies the coop. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
In the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series playoffs, we know what it takes to win the championship. This. This. And a whole lot of this.
That's what I'm talking about! Yes!
Because to be champion,
Sauter and Moffitt side by side.
you've got to lay it all on the line.
As people who love the outdoors, we know what we stand for. We stand for fish, wildlife, and conserving the places they call home. We stand for the traditions we inherited and that we must pass on. We stand for great gear, fair prices, expert service, and memorable experiences. At Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, we stand together for you.
In the NASCAR playoffs, the energy transforms everything.
The pack is flying apart.
An infield becomes the place to be. A spectator becomes a fan. An experience becomes unforgettable.
He lit the track on fire.
And a driver becomes a champion.
Quite the party in victory lane.
Be there as these drivers lay it all on the line.
Wow. Threading the needle.
Get your tickets to the NASCAR playoffs by visiting NASCAR.com/tickets.
8 different winners this season. Can Grant Enfinger add his name to the list on this spectacular Las Vegas night?
Oh, I love a Ferris wheel at the racetrack. Adds some nice color to the setting, don't you agree?
Absolutely. How about Grant Enfinger? What a great recovery he has made. Got into the outside wall, came to pit road, put 4 tires on. He has 15-lap fresher tires than the guys he's racing around right now.
He'll restart on the inside of row 2 alongside his teammate Ben Rhodes. ThorSport with 3 of the 4 trucks in the first 2 rows. Matt Crafton up there on the front row, starting alongside Johnny Sauter, the control vehicle.
I think these guys are going to get into each other. I think we're going to see some action, some spins, maybe a crash that's just, it's too tight and they're trying too hard. It's the playoffs. Every spot matters.
The green is waving. 18 to go at Las Vegas.
See if Johnny can get that momentum from the outside. He has Ben Rhodes pushing him.
That's where his truck's so strong. Middle of the corner off. You could see it there. He was able just to fly around the outside of Matt Crafton.
Enfinger along the bottom inside of Crafton for 4th.
How about Brett Moffitt up there racing for 2nd in the 16 truck?
Moffitt's been quiet all night, but closing time is usually when he makes his noise, and we're getting close.
They usually wait till there's 1 or 2 laps to go.
He might be doing that now, just positioning himself perfectly to swipe another one late.
Well, Grant Enfinger has been so strong tonight. Right now he sits 4th. There's Justin Haley in the 24. The winner of the playoff opener at Canada, and he's had a solid night tonight.
Caught a glimpse of Crafton back there. He really got shuffled out on that restart. He restarted up there with Johnny Sauter, and he's back to 6th. There he is right there, the yellow 88.
The laps are dwindling down as you see Noah Gregson come back to pit road. He had fallen a couple of laps down, had to come under green because of that tire change, and then also had a commitment line violation.
Matt Crafton with a nice run across the bottom is able to clear John Hunter Nemechek. Hermie?
This is just going from bad to worse for the 18 of Gregson. Right rear tire was going flat. They've got some kind of issue with the right rear, so they put 2 right side tires on, sending back on the way. But very difficult ending to this race for the 18.
Well, and you saw on the right-hand side of the screen, thank you, Hermie, the 0-4 of Corey Roper down through the infield grass, but has not brought out the caution. We stay green on track, and Johnny Sauter continues to lead, and now the caution is out.
Guys, I got to tell you, I get as nervous here at Las Vegas watching these cats races as I do at Talladega.
It looks about the same, doesn't it?
It looks a whole lot the same, and you know how hard these guys are going to try over the last 10 laps, and how difficult it's going to be to keep these trucks headed in the right direction.
Corey Roper from Baytown, Texas, making his 4th start of the season, and the 51 of Brandon Jones with quite a bit of damage as well.
Probably related, I would think.
The 52 of Friesen gets the free pass. See, they're doing quite a bit of extensive repair on that right rear of Jones.
Looks like the left front as well, some damage there. Roper's truck thought he was going to be able to get it back to the pit road, but not quite able to do so, and NASCAR had to throw the caution.
Well, it's going to set us up for a shootout to the finish, and you know, half the races in the Truck Series that we've run here in Las Vegas, the final lead change has occurred in the last 7 laps, and might be setting ourselves up for just that kind of finish tonight.
And about every race that Brett Moffitt has won, he's led the last lap, and that's been about it. Been passed for the lead late in every race he's won. It's been an amazing storybook year for that team. Brett does such a great job behind the wheel. He's got his playoff mustache rolling. Came into Vegas with a lot of confidence. And look, a guy that wasn't even a part of the story the first 3 quarters of this race finds himself right up in the front battling for the win.
He takes a lot of pride in that mustache. You think there's some power in that?
He said it's a playoff
confident.
stash.
Yeah,
playoff stash.
Gives him a little extra confidence.
Yeah, I like it. I like these truckers, man. They're so much fun. Their hearts are all about racing, and they put it all right out on the end of their sleeve and just show how hard they battle.
And I like what Moffitt has brought to this series too. I mean, he's a driver that's had experience at the Cup level, but he has really given this series a shot in the arm, a jolt of excitement this year.
Look at this record. That is simply amazing that he's taken the lead with 1 or 2 laps to go in every race that he's won. Now, you see Iowa, he led 76 laps to win that race, right? Well, he got passed on the last lap, and he passed back to get the checkered. So there should be an asterisk beside that Iowa record, because that would keep it perfect, his record of 1 or 2 laps before he takes the lead to win.
The 41 of Ben Rhodes will restart alongside Johnny Sauter on the front row, and let's talk with his crew chief, Eddie Traconis.
Yeah, Vincent, Brett Moffitt is not the only team that's into the mustache game. These guys got it going on the 41. You guys had to go all the way to the back of the field to start this race. Now you've got a shot to win. What does your driver have to do on this next restart to get it done?
I think he just have to keep doing his job. You know, he's doing a fantastic job all day in these 4 days 150. You know, we knew we had to take it. You know, we had to go to the back and make sure everything was right on the motor. They're still beating us at the end of the straightaway. We don't have the top end speed, and we don't know if it's motor or is it just the drag on the truck. But I mean, the kid is doing a fantastic job on restarts, and he knows the track position matters. And we just have to stay up front all night. You know, I think we have a shot for Johnny, and we just have to be there at the end. So we're there at the end, and you know, proud of the kid. You know, we start all the way in the back, and we have a shot to win. So that's what we're here for.
Vince?
Ben Rhodes, the 21-year-old from Louisville, Kentucky, won at Kentucky Speedway earlier this season. There's Corey Roper in that 0-4. We saw the damage that truck had on the left front. Here's what happened.
Oh, problem for the 51, a truck of Brandon Jones trying to get to pit road, and Roper just didn't know the 51 was slowing down and got into the back of him.
And it was going to be an unscheduled pit stop for the 51 of Brandon Jones. Corey Roper unfortunately came along with nowhere to go.
Wrong place, wrong time for Roper.
Another one of the new teams here this year in the Truck Series. Brought some equipment from Brad Keselowski and some of the new NT1 engines and came racing NASCAR style.
Hey, tomorrow want to check out Major League Baseball. Every win critical for the Dodgers as they face the Cardinals in a heated matchup. Or maybe you got the Nationals as they look to play spoiler with the Atlanta Braves. All happens 12:30 Eastern on Fox. Then the Twins take on the Royals at 7 Eastern on FS1. See it all on the Fox Sports app. To be that time of year in the Major League Baseball ranks. Good stuff.
See that 30 truck outside of row number 4? That's Austin Terrio. First time in a truck in a while. Had a horrible wreck here back in 2016. Actually broke his back. New team made their debut at Bristol with Scott Lagasse Jr. and Austin Terrio has driven that truck up into the top 10.
And right behind him is Ross Chastain, a guy that always seems to overachieve. He's got that 15 truck up in the top 10 here late in the going.
Camping World 10 to go at the restart.
Brett Moffitt gets to the outside.
Moffitt trying to get the lead from Rhodes. Great battle behind him. Sauter and Enfinger.
Sauter and Haley made some contact. Look at Terrio up there in the outside behind Haley.
No room for error back in the pack as they fight at the front.
Look at Johnny Sauter. Rebounds around the outside. Can he rally?
Moffitt in the lead with Rhodes, Crafton, and Haley. Chasing. Sauter up top.
Sauter's not done yet, Vince. You can see the speed of the 21. He was fighting to hang in the top 10 the last time down the back straightaway. See a little bit of a tire rub there on the left rear. Look at him run around the high side.
Johnny Sauter blows past Crafton.
I think Crafton has some sort of an issue.
Justin Haley challenging Crafton for position as well with Timothy Peters right behind him.
Keep an eye on Johnny Sauter.
Moffitt clinging to the lead.
See Cody Kaufman making it 3 wide for a moment. Slots in behind the 98 of Enfinger.
What happened to Enfinger? Just not a great restart. He's not been able to rally.
Back in that 8th spot. Been one of the best trucks all night. He's led the most laps. 38 laps led for Enfinger, but he's got plenty of work to do here in the final 7 if he's to score his first win of the year.
There's that 15 of Ross Chastain you were talking about, Michael, in the 8th position right now.
Timothy Peters back in the trucks. Good to see Timothy racing and running competitively up front.
Enfinger on the march, but does he have enough time and can he get through the traffic to challenge for the win? It's Brett Moffitt in the lead with Johnny Sauter passing Ben Rhodes for second.
Now the guys running 1-2 are top a lot of people's lists on the eventual champion for 2018.
Sauter's making that high line work, Phil. I love that. That's how you pass guys. If you just run to the bottom, you'll get hung there. Looks like Sauter's found something up top.
But Brett Moffitt's smart enough to know that Johnny Sauter's going up there too.
Fitting that they are in the front, leading the pack. Moffitt has won 4 times this season. Sauter has won a series high 5 races.
Sauter has to be patient here, I think.
Oh, and Friesen is around again. Boy, what a tough night it's been for Stuart Friesen, and that brings out the caution.
Or it's going to cost Johnny Sauter some laps.
And you know, that last restart, Sauter struggled. Fell almost all the way outside the top 10.
Most of the restarts tonight, Johnny Sauter has struggled.
But you know what? While it may be not what Sauter was looking for, it is what guys like Enfinger, Crafton, Rhodes were looking for, because now this restart's going to give them one more chance to make it count.
Absolutely.
See Ben Rhodes? He's got his visor up, so we're looking at his roof, but still got a great view of Johnny Sauter working his tires there.
Remember, the winner of this race, if it's Moffitt or Sauter, Rhodes, Crafton, Enfinger, going to guarantee their spot into the round of 6, regardless of what happens in our next race at Talladega.
Right now, our top 6 running positions, all playoff contenders. That guy's already into the next round. He's running 6th right now.
And if you're wondering about Friesen and Gregson, well, Friesen has had a variety of issues, brought out the caution 3 times tonight. Gregson, some contact and a tire issue, had to come to pit road, then got a penalty. He's a couple of laps off the pace, and look at that truck.
About 20 laps ago, that was a race-winning machine right there. You can see it's just reduced to junk at this point.
Well, what a year it's been for Brett Moffitt, a 4-time winner. Does it with drama, Mike.
There he goes around the top 3 wide, late at Michigan to get that big victory.
His first win in the Truck Series, passing his teammate, Timothy Peters, and putting that sticker on the truck.
This is Atlanta. What a great restart at Atlanta. Makes it 3 wide, grabs the lead, and goes to victory lane for his first win of 2018.
And then late around John Hunter Nemechek to victory lane when he won at Chicagoland.
This is coming right down to the wire. Look how close that is. Passes Johnny Sauter on the last lap at Michigan.
On the last turn. He has a flair for the dramatic, doesn't he?
He sure does.
He knows he's got his hands full right here with Johnny Sauter. I think Sauter's truck's a little bit quicker right now. It's going to be all about this restart. What line does Moffitt choose? Who does he think the best pusher would be behind him? Does he want to go up top, or do you think he takes the bottom?
I think he takes the outside, don't you?
Well, neither one, Moffitt or Sauter, will have a teammate behind him. Ben Rhodes and Matt Crafton will start in row 2. They're from Thor Sport. Of course, Moffitt from Hattori Racing, Johnny Sauter, GMS. But for those guys in row 2, I mean, does it really matter because they're all out for their own right now. I mean, teammates aside.
Ben Rhodes is thinking 3 wide.
Yeah,
That's what Ben Rhodes is thinking right there. How do I jump this start perfectly and get to the inside of Johnny Sauter? And Sauter will go all the way off the track to keep Rhodes behind him. That's what's getting ready to be interesting, is who gets the best launch here.
Well, remember when Rhodes won this race last year, he went 3 wide on a late restart from the second row. From this very position, went 3 wide to take the lead and win the race.
And held off Christopher Bell in a great duel towards the end.
It's going to be NASCAR overtime, and we're going to take the green and then come around, and if we get the white, the next flag, whether it be the checkered or the yellow, would end the race. But if we don't come around to get that white and a caution comes out, we'll line them up and do it again, and we'll do it as often as we need to.
I don't know how these guys have been able to go 4 wide on these restarts.
Me either.
And we haven't had a wreck on a restart yet.
Yeah.
Who do you like here, guys?
I just like Moffitt. I think that Toyota engine he's got under the hood really is going to accelerate well on this start. He's got Matt Crafton behind him, giving him a push. I think I like those two together pushing out to the lead. Can they hold off the charge afterwards? We'll see.
I think it may key on what Ben Rhodes does from the inside of the second row.
Overtime in Las Vegas.
There goes Rhodes.
Sauter comes down to try to block. Meanwhile, Moffitt gets out front, and Crafton goes to the second spot.
Now Grant Enfinger's trying to get to the outside of Johnny Sauter.
It's Moffitt and Crafton, contact between Enfinger and Sauter, and around goes Cody Coughlin. And the caution is out.
You said we hadn't wrecked yet on a restart, Phil. Now we have.
So Moffitt and Crafton, and then it was Enfinger and Sauter that got into one another, and eventually there's some contact involving Cody Coughlin. He couldn't save it.
What a save by Johnny Sauter. He tried to squeeze into a hole that I don't think was there, but because of that bold, aggressive move, squeezing in there, he's running in the 4th position, still with a chance to win this race. Watch Sauter, he just tries to get right up in front of Enfinger. There's not room to do so. They make contact, and it just stacks up the field. Then a big shove from John Hunter Nemechek in the back of the 2 truck of Cody Coughlin, and that turned him around.
Cody makes contact with the inside wall. You can see right there.
Heavy damage to that 2 truck of Coughlin.
That's a shame. Cody had been really competitive all night long. Didn't do anything wrong here. Just over-aggression by John Hunter Nemechek, hitting him in the back here.
The caution is out, and that means it's going to set up another overtime restart when we come back. The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series from Las Vegas. Overtime try number 2. This time with Brett Moffitt and Matt Crafton on the front row.
Michael, you mentioned how good that engine accelerated in Brett Moffitt's truck. Matt Crafton, for the first time this year, is actually running a Ford engine, not the NT1. Same situation with that engine, maybe a little bit better acceleration.
But I like Brett Moffitt because Johnny Sauter's right behind him. Sauter's had the fastest truck. Plus, it's just too tempting for Grant Enfinger not to take Crafton 3 wide if he can get a good run on the bottom. Watch for Sauter to push Moffitt out to the lead.
Second try at overtime in Vegas. It's green. Moffitt jumps to the front.
Oh, and Sauter got 3-wided on the outside by Rhodes.
Yeah, not a good restart for Sauter. Meanwhile, Enfinger side by side with Crafton for second.
Look at the trucks beating and banging back there. 4 wide.
4 wide behind the bunch at the front. Trying to sort out positions. Meanwhile, it's Brett Moffitt in the lead with Grant Enfinger in second, and Justin Haley slipped into the 3rd spot and around again. Caution. A bigger one this time. Timothy Peters involved. Austin Hill in the 02. Jesse Little, the 97. Well, that's a shame. Little was having a good night. They did not get to the line to get the white flag, so we're going to line them up and restart it again.
Or look at the damage on Nemechek's
big hit from John Hunter, who had a good night up until this point. Wow.
So Timothy Peters get turned around and get a lot of damage.
They started wrecking on the back straightaway. It just finally all came together exiting turn 4.
You know, we made the comment, as you see the 938 of TJ Bell. Ben Rhodes earlier today in the media center made the comment that Vegas is like Talladega the West, and because the draft is so big, and we're starting to see that with all the wrecks here now.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we said at the start of the show the track was hot. There wouldn't be as much of a pack, but anytime you wind it down and cool the temperatures off and put these guys all together for these restarts, it's just too tempting to go 4 wide, and 4 wide just hasn't worked tonight.
There's John Hunter walking away from his damaged truck.
A lot of frustration. Peters around and in. I think maybe got a little help
Jordan
to start with.
Yeah, gets some damage with the 3 truck.
Look at Crafton squeezing inside of Rhodes, and there's Peters sideways.
You can see the green lights right now.
And there's the yellow before the leader. Moffitt gets to the line, so it's the indicator that we're going to line up and have a 3rd try at overtime. Meanwhile, they're going to park them on the backstretch until we get this cleaned up.
Phil, is fuel beginning to be a concern? Maybe NASCAR stopped because these teams haven't been to pit road in so long.
Yeah, a lot of guys pitted on lap number 85, and that, you know, that we've run 139 laps, so that's 54. We saw our pit window somewhere between 50 and 55, but we've had 20 caution laps since those guys pitted on lap number 85. So I would think they should be okay on fuel.
Well, I knew you said 50 to 55 earlier, and we've
exceeded that.
We've gotten past that point, so I wondered how they were going to make it. But you're right; those caution flag laps really help those guys save fuel. They'll actually turn the engine off and coast under caution to even save more fuel.
Yeah, just the reduced speed is going to save fuel, but they'll even take it a step further A lot of damage to the 0-2 of Austin Nell. He had another solid run going. TJ Bell was on the lead lap here, local youngster from Las Vegas.
You've got Friesen back there in 16th and Gregson in 23rd. They're not going to be factors in regards to the win tonight, but the top 6, I think, are all in play. Justin Haley, who will restart 3rd, has already won. He won at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park to open up the playoffs. But the other 5 in that top 6, this is such a huge race for them because next it's Talladega. And you know what happens there.
Anything. Yeah. Anything can happen there.
Well, I think anything's happening at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. We saw it there, and then tonight in Las Vegas. It's playoff time, baby. These guys know they have to fight as hard as they can. If some guy squeezes you off late in the race, you're not going to take it. You're going to leave your foot on the floorboard.
2 will be eliminated when we go from Talladega. The run for the championship the rest of the way. Trucks are stopped on the backstretch under red as we get ready for our 3rd try at overtime here in Las Vegas. Brett Moffitt and Grant Enfinger will restart on the front row. And boy, it's been a wild couple of days for Moffitt and company. Let's go downstairs, check in with his crew chief. Caitlin?
Well, I got Scott Zipadelli. I appreciate you letting me sit on the pit box, but I would not want your job tonight. First of all, how'd you guys get to the front halfway through the race? You guys were outside the top 10 and struggling with your truck. So what made the difference to give you this opportunity?
Perseverance. We had really good stops. We've made a lot of changes. We weren't very good when we started the race. We've made a lot of changes throughout the night, and clean air helps. Once we got in the top 5, the truck drove a little bit better, and here we are.
I know you got a lot of confidence in your driver. The guys in the booth been talking about how well he's able to close races and go to victory lane. So if you could give him some advice, which I'm sure you will, but he probably won't listen because he knows what he's doing anyway. But what would you like to see happen on this next restart, other than come back and get the white in the checker?
He just needs to hit his marks just like he did the last 2 restarts. We were 200 feet from winning this race. He knows exactly what he's doing. Not playing any games. Don't spin your tires, and don't let anybody get to the outside of you. I thought we could have been in trouble that last run. He got a really good lead, but we're going to be okay. But everybody in the Osaka Toyota Tundra has done a great job, and we just hope we can close this deal tonight.
Very confident crew chief, confident race team, confident driver, Vince.
Caitlin's voice has gotten a lot deeper. Thank you, Hermie. Good stuff down there with Scott Zipadelli. Well done, Herm. Hope to get him started. Settle it tonight in Vegas when we come back. Thanks, Mike. And as you can see, still waiting for the trucks to roll here at Las Vegas. Under red after that multi-vehicle accident. It will be a 3rd try at overtime with Brett Moffitt and Grant Enfinger on the front row for this restart.
I think a great call by NASCAR to park those trucks over there on the back. See so many trucks wrecked, damaged, debris everywhere. What a race it's been, Vince.
It has indeed, and it started with Noah Gragson on pole for the 5th time this season, and Gragson had the dominant truck early and won stage 1 handily.
Yeah, he led every lap in that first stage. Ben Rose jumped to the outside, had to start from the very tail of the field along with Matt Crafton.
It didn't take either one of them long to get up toward the front, that's for sure, and we've had so many battles at the front of the pack throughout the course of the night. Look at Crafton down there making it 4 wide.
Call it 5 wide for a moment.
I counted 5 wide.
Gragson, as mentioned, the stage 1 winner. It was his 10th stage win of the season.
He won by over 4 seconds, and we haven't had 4/10 of a second, I don't think, between the top 5 since then.
Riley Herbst in that 46 got into the wall. Grant Enfinger came around and won stage 2, held off Matt Crafton. Crafton had gotten into the wall late in that run. But Crafton has been fast. He had this one slow pit stop, and Fortunately for him, it wasn't on the last stop of the night, but you can see they have a little trouble there on the left front. Lost some positions, but Matt has been able to make his way back to the front. They had their problems in qualifying today, but Crafton's truck has been fast in the race. And then this issue between Gilliland and Jesse Little put an end to Todd Gilliland's night. Infinger made a pit stop when others didn't after electing to take no tires when others came and took 2 and 4, and it ended up working out okay when Gregson had a tire issue and had to come to pit road. Friesen's been around and brought out the caution 3 times. It's been a tough night for Friesen, but he's still managed to hang in there on the lead lap, sitting 16th.
One of our championship contenders having a rough evening. Now watch this mess. Johnny Sauter gets knocked out of the way, and then John Hunter Nemechek into the back of the 2 truck of Cody Coughlin sends him spinning down the back straightaway at 170 miles an hour.
Really trying to help him, trying to push him and get him going, but it turned him sideways. Cody made contact with the inside wall.
And then the big one.
Timothy Peters involved in that. Jordan Anderson got damaged. TJ Bell.
John Hunter Nemechek.
Yep. Jesse Little. And then Moffitt wasn't quite to the line yet when the yellow came out, so that means we will set him up and do overtime again.
Austin Hill also involved in that last incident.
You know, we mentioned at the beginning of the show tonight, the last 12 races here at Las Vegas, 12 different winners, and we're set up for maybe 13 in a row because you look at that top 6. Rhodes and Sauter, former winners here, but Moffitt, Infinger, Haley, Crafton, none have gone to victory lane here at Las Vegas.
What about Justin Haley looking to go 2 for 2 in the playoffs here in 2018? He's going to restart 3rd.
It's a good position to be in, inside 2nd row.
I think I like Moffitt taking the top. That'll put the steamy truck of Johnny Sauter right behind him. Sauter just needs to make sure nobody jumps to the outside of him. That's what got him in the bind he's in now. Ben Rhodes was able to get to the outside on the last restart. Sauter rallied.
Stay tuned for Major League Baseball Whip Around coming up next here on FS1 as we were going a little long tonight because of the overtime situation, and wouldn't go anywhere. It's going to be a thrilling finish, and it has been tight all night long. Remember we told you Grant Infinger 33-1. You could get those odds on him earlier this week here in Vegas, and now he's restarting on the front row with a chance to get his first win of the season.
Every one of these guys up in the top 6, other than Justin Haley, knows that a win puts them in the 2nd round of the playoffs. Justin's already in it.
There you see Haley up there in the 24 truck, Fraternal Order of Eagles.
This is the Carolina Nut Ford for Ben Rhodes, his teammate Matt Crafton, the Menards Ford on his outside.
Wow, this is intense for these drivers. They know this restart can make or break the deal.
Who's it gonna be? Moffitt, Infinger, maybe Johnny Sauter gets his 6th win of the season. Can Justin Haley start the playoffs with back-to-back wins? Go a little deeper to row 3 with Matt Crafton and Ben Rhodes. It's overtime number 3 in Las Vegas. Who's your money on?
Oh, something's wrong with Moffitt. He may be out of gas.
Moffitt off the pace.
I think he's out of gas. Maybe it just.
It's picked back up again a little. I think he's back up to speed, but it's Infinger at the front with Justin Haley behind him. Grant Infinger trying to secure his first win of the season.
Watch Johnny Sauter. He's going to work to the outside of Justin Haley. Can he go search down the leader?
Sauter into 2nd. The white flag, 1 to go. Infinger in the lead with Sauter looking on the outside to challenge. Haley and Rhodes right behind.
Johnny
on the
has
backstretch.
One more shot at him, guys.
Sauter looks at the high line. Enfinger holding the bottom. Grant Enfinger off turn 4. Here he comes. He's going to do it. Grant Enfinger wins at Las Vegas.
Awesome. Great job, everybody. Hold it calm. That's what I'm talking about. Hold it calm.
How about that happy crew?
You know, sometimes when you go to Vegas and gamble, it pays off. That pit call that Jeff Hensley made was a big gamble, and he's going to drive straight to victory lane.
And we questioned it. Why did he give up tires there? He thought it was going to be too late.
Grant Enfinger has raced at Las Vegas 5 times in the Truck Series, and his position of finish has gotten better each and every time. And tonight, he'll go to victory lane.
I think Brett Moffitt fuel pump probably didn't pick the fuel up there when he went to the gas on that restart. Then it finally caught, but it was too late.
His second career win. And the next track we go to, where he scored his first career victory, Talladega.
And he'll sleep well till then, too.
It's going to feel good.
Because he's into the next round of the playoffs.
And that's going to be a home game for him. Man, that's just a great feeling to put yourself into the next round. Know you're going to go to Talladega playing on house money.
The crew chief, Jeff Hensley, his 14th win as a crew chief.
He's going to play on house money that he won in Las Vegas.
It's only appropriate, isn't it?
Exactly.
And another win for ThorSport. And on the mile and a halfs, 9 of their last 13 victories have come on this configuration. And, well, they were strong tonight with Ben Rhodes and Matt Crafton finishing in the top 5 as well. 3 of the top 5 out of the ThorSport camp.
Matt Snyder in 6th position.
Frustration for Moffitt. Look, Moffitt, the restart, just didn't want to go.
It took off initially, and then it just stalled out. See him wiggling the truck, trying to get fuel to the pickup.
– 33-year-old from Fairhope, Alabama, Grant Enfinger. He's a racer. I mean, you might find him being a crew chief at an ARCA race on a weekend.
Well, and we talked about him being Mr. Consistency. I don't think he wants to have that tag tied to him. He wants to be a winner. And man, what dramatic fashion he pulled off the victory here in Vegas.
You know, he told me before the playoffs, he said the one thing we feel like we've just been missing is a little bit of speed to get us over the top. And I don't know what they've done, but we saw it tonight. I mean, he had, as Michael said, a lot of steam tonight.
And a lot of desire. And
that's what I was going to say, Michael, exactly.
Just not to be denied.
Well, Brett Moffitt restarted on the front row. What happened, Hermie?
We've seen this team and driver win in dramatic fashion several times this year. Tonight, you're leading on the final restart. They put the green flag out. What happened?
I just ran out of fuel. We didn't have enough under caution. I was trying to swerve it back and forth and keep the pickup box full, but yeah.
Did you guys have any concern about that before that restart?
No, we were supposed to be a few laps to the good, so it shouldn't have been an issue. It's a bummer when I'm 100 yards from the start-finish line and I see him somewhat throw the white and then throw the caution, and then we have that happen. So it is what it is.
Tough break for Moffitt in the 16.
They'll probably find that he had enough fuel in the tank, but as he said, he couldn't keep it all in the pickup. The pickup's over in the right rear corner in these fuel cells.
Well, as you look at the playoff standings now, with Haley and Enfinger winning the first 2 races here in round 1, that means we go to Talladega with Ben Rhodes and Stuart Friesen on the outside, but they are certainly within striking distance.
What a great way for David Pepper to celebrate his 500th race in a row with this team. He's Grant Enfinger's spotter, and just to be able to be a part of that win and be his 500th race, that's pretty cool.
Hermie?
Well, Johnny Sauter ends up second. What a roller coaster ride it was for your team earlier in the race, not even really in the top 10, and you guys put yourself in position. It came down to the final couple of restarts. Where did you need to be, or what did you need to have happen differently to give yourself a shot?
Well, you know, it's just tough. Obviously, these restarts are crazy, and you got built motors that can turn 1,500 more RPM going through the RPM range, and on the restarts, they just launch. My restarts absolutely sucked tonight. Just awful. I don't know. The split from first to second gear, just terrible. But proud of Joe and all these guys on this Legion Travel Chevy. They did an awesome job. We were way off at the beginning, you know, and just kept flogging on it, working on it. I don't even know what adjustments they were making. I was just saying you need to do something big. But I finally thought I had it lined up perfect there with Kraft, and obviously a guy that you can count on to try to help you a little bit. And then the 16 ran out of gas, so we kind of had to snake around that, and he got off, got detached, and we just lost a little bit of momentum. So to come back and finish second was good. We just, you know, we just got a little bit of work to do. Obviously, we had the fastest truck the last half of the race, and I hate that we didn't capitalize on it, but there's just not much I can do differently. I tried to mix it up as much as I could, and we just got a little bit of work to do in the transmission department.
That's Johnny Sauter. He's second tonight. Let's go to Caitlin in victory lane.
Well, it is already a big celebration here in victory lane for Grant Enfinger. What an incredible moment for him and this race team. And Grant, everything you guys had to deal with tonight, overcoming some adversity, some strategy calls as well. How do you feel like this was a testament of you and your team? You guys earned this one.
No, I mean, it's kind of the culmination of all year. We've put together pieces together to win the race individually, but not as a whole, as a group. From the spotter, his 500 start here, the crew chief, the crew knocked him out of the park this week on pit road. And the truck was great. We had the best truck out there. So thankful for this Ford F-150. It's kind of sentimental favorite. I kind of wanted that Roush Yates motor to win, but I wanted to be in this 98 truck. So thank you for Duke and Rhonda Thorson for this opportunity. With them, we wouldn't be here. Pretty special to bring home the win tonight with Champion Power Equipment. They've been a big part of my career, and a lot of people not here. My wife's at home bearing down for the hurricane, so all those people are in our thoughts and prayers. So anyway, God was with us tonight, and thank you to everybody that's made it happen.
I mentioned the strategy earlier. Were you concerned at all in that second to last pit stop? Your crew chief making the choice to take no tires.
I mean, yeah, I was concerned, but, you know, I put my mind to, you know, we're just going to go out here and race. We're not going to race with respect like we always do. We're going to race how all these guys have raced us. I feel like we did that. I feel like we did it in a fairly clean manner, but we had to step it up and be aggressive tonight, and all these guys did. We didn't have a good Ford F-150 yesterday during practice. These guys behind me made it good. We had the best truck out here. Very, very proud of that.
Nicely done. Enjoy it.
Grant Enfinger, the winner tonight in Las Vegas. What sticks out in your mind, Mike, from what we saw tonight?
Just what he said at the end of that interview. We had to be aggressive. We couldn't race with respect. We had to be hammered down, and you saw it at the end.
And I think we're going to see the same thing next time we go to Talladega here, the final race before the next round of the playoffs.
Grant Enfinger takes home the jackpot tonight. He's the winner in Las Vegas. Major League Whip Around coming your way next here on FS1.